He said he had a screw loose yet too.
No?
Your mics are.
Yes.
Your mic's on.
Good evening, everyone. We're going to call tonight's meeting to order. Thank you, everyone, for coming to the February 7th Muscatine City Council meeting. Cinda, will you please do the roll call?
Councilmember Spread,
Present.
Harvey,
Present.
Rockert,
Present.
Saucedo,
Present.
Brackett,
Present.
Fitzgerald,
Here.
Malcolm,
Present.
7 present, 0 absent, Your Honor.
Thank you. Will you please join me in saying the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everyone, for coming tonight. I'd like to start tonight's meeting by asking if there's anyone here who would like to address council about something that's not already on tonight's agenda. Please come on up. You know the drill, but please say your name and address.
All right. I'm Sarah Landy at 515 West 2nd Street, and I am just here to remind you all that music is really in the air in Muscatine, and next week we have two really outstanding opportunities. We have opera and choir, bell chimes from China, and we have our wonderful Muscatine Symphony on the 16th. So we get to celebrate a traditional Chinese New Year, an American Valentine's Day with romantic music. So I hope you can come, especially as the leaders of our community. We'd like you there. 2 countries, 2 cultures. It'll be lots of fun. And I just wanted to give you a couple other minutes about the Chinese New Year celebration is organized by volunteers, Chinese Muscatine China's Initiative groups. And this group that's coming will perform at the Chicago Symphony Hall and at the Detroit Symphony Hall and in California for regular programs. But they are giving a free concert in Muscatine because of the hospitality that their president received when he was here. And so many of your fellow people are having the musicians stay in their home, and that's what they like the best, even if they don't speak the language. That makes us sort of unique. So they'll come on the 13th, and 80 people will be welcomed at the China Garden with the volunteers and their homestay people. The 14th will be the concert, and the 15th, they're staying the next day to have a cultural day. And we're going to take them around town, tour the city, shop in our stores. They're going to visit City Hall and the schools and the Friendship House. And after that, down at the Chinese Cultural Center, where the old Murray Lindsay building is, that there will be, the performers will be there, and you can talk to them about their craft and what they're going to do. And then also there will be many of the musicians will go to the schools. So come out and extend the warm hospitality like we did before, and our leaders may disagree, but there's deep bonds of friendship between our people, and that needs to stay strong. So come out and enjoy.
Thank you, Mrs.
Thank
Landy.
you all for your
Thanks for all
leadership.
your volunteer work as well. Is there anyone else? Hearing nothing, we're going to go ahead and move along with tonight's agenda, and that gets us to number 5. The following items are considered to be routine by the City Council and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a council member so requests, in which event it will be removed from the consent agenda and considered in its normal sequence on the agenda. Is there a motion to approve tonight's consent agenda, which includes items 6A through H, items 8A through P, items 12A through I, and tonight's bills totaling $2,971,104.79.
So moved.
Second, Your Honor.
Thank you. We have a motion by Councilman Saucedo with the second by Councilman Brackett. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries with all ayes. We're going to move on down skip the next page. And on number 7, we had 2 public hearings scheduled tonight originally. Those will both be rescheduled. So we'll keep going down to the best one of the evening. Number 9, we have a life-saving award presentation to Officer Benjamin Varela. Would you please meet me at the podium? Thank you for coming tonight, and thanks for all you do. I had the pleasure a couple of years ago of swearing in Officer Varela, and it's a good thing that we did for the city of Muscatine because he has already saved a life, and we can't begin to thank him enough. I would like to just read to you the narrative of what Officer Varela did. On January 1st of this year, Officer Varela responded to a report of a 54-year-old female seizing and unresponsive. Once on scene, Officer Varela checked to see if she had a pulse and was breathing. Finding none, Officer Varela began chest compressions until the Muscatine Fire Department arrived and took over medical treatment. The fire department advised Officer Varela that the patient had a consistent heartbeat and shallow breathing prior to transporting her to the hospital. Due to Officer Varela's quick actions, the female survived this incident. We thank you so much and congratulate you. This is the Life Saving Award. I'm trying to get this so the folks at home can hear. And this is the State of Iowa Life Saving Award, and we are very proud and honored to have you on our force and congratulate you so much. Thank you. You want to hold that? Officer, if you would please go around front so that council can congratulate you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations and thank you.
Great job, man. Thank you.
And an extra congratulations to all of Officer Varela's family and certainly the rest of the Muscatine Police Department for all that they do. Well, we won't be able to top that, but we're going to go ahead and move on. Presented for City Council's consideration is a resolution setting a public hearing on March 14th to acquire or condemn, if necessary, all or a portion of property or an interest in property for street improvements included in the Mississippi Corridor project. Is there a motion to approve this resolution as submitted?
So moved, Your Honor.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilman Spread with a second by Councilman Harvey. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. Councilman Saucedo, how do you vote?
Aye.
Councilwoman Brockert?
Aye.
Councilman Harvey?
Aye.
Councilman Spread?
Aye.
Councilman Malcolm?
Aye.
Councilman Fitzgerald?
Aye.
And Councilman Brackett.
Aye.
The resolution is adopted with all ayes. Presented for City Council's consideration is a resolution setting a public hearing on March 21st to approve the application of the consolidated funding application for state and federal funding. Is there a motion to adopt this resolution as submitted?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilman Malcolm with a second by Councilwoman Brockert. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. Councilman Spread, how do you vote?
Aye.
Councilman Harvey?
Aye.
Councilwoman Brockert?
Aye.
Councilman Saucedo?
Aye.
Councilman Malcolm?
Aye.
Councilman Fitzgerald?
Aye.
And Councilman Brackett.
Aye.
This resolution is adopted with all ayes. Presented for City Council's consideration is a resolution setting a public hearing regarding the Hauser Fulham Roundabout project for March 21st of 2019. Is there a motion to adopt this resolution as submitted?
So moved, Your Honor.
We have a, Councilman Spread, would you second, please?
Sure.
We have a motion by Councilman Fitzgerald with a second by Councilman Spread. Is there any discussion?
I have a question on this. The purpose behind a lot of this is we talked about this before, but we also had a lot of concerns around it. I mean, is this the only option we have for this build? And I know we talked about a little bit in regards to the expansion of the project that they have for that housing development. Is that, another big driver for this?
Mayor, Council, first of all, this is just to set a public hearing. So obviously we intend to take input at that public hearing. I also believe later on this meeting, there's going to be some discussion, I think, that probably occurs with regards to the signature that goes on a TSIP grant for that project. But I don't want to belabor this point too much because I think we tread back through the same exact territory in a little bit. But there are other options, but the grant money that's there,
Yeah.
I don't think you'd get that grant money for other options. Like, I mean, there's other options like traffic signals.
Yeah.
It wouldn't meet any warrants for that. It might, excuse me, I just lied to you. It might meet one warrant for that, but very seldom would they put signals in on a warrant like that with grant money like this. And there are no other options that, a four-way stop, you're probably not going to get a traffic safety improvement grant to do that. So it's a solution, and we have the grant to support it. And I'll leave it right there unless you have any other
Nope,
questions, because
that's
I think
all I
we
needed.
tread back
I'm
through
good.
here in a little bit. All right, thank you.
We will pursue it further in the hearing, or when we have the actual public hearing.
Thank you, Jim.
Your Honor,
Yes.
one quick correction. It should be February 21st for the hearing, per the memo,
Oh, not March 21st.
instead of March 21st.
My typo.
And is that the same for the transit funds? Because on the online agenda, both of them say March 21st.
No, the transit one, I believe, is.
Okay.
Okay, so to be clear, the hearing that we're talking about, right, in the public hearing we're talking about for the Fulham Hauser Roundabout will be for February 21st.
Correct.
And, I always look to public input for things, so regardless of my opinions on that particular roundabout, I would encourage the public, if you have opinions on it, come forth at that time, because that is the time to speak your opinion.
I have another question. Will the design be available that night for people to look at?
I think the point more is for the public to see it, not us. What's that? So I think the point, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but you want the public to be able to see it
Yes.
as much as us?
Get it online.
We'll get it to Kevin to get online.
Thank you.
Your Honor.
Okay.
Yes.
The transit is the 21st
Okay.
of March.
Of March.
Yes.
Hearing nothing else, Councilman Spread, how do you vote?
Aye.
Councilman Harvey?
Aye.
Councilwoman Brockert?
Aye.
Councilman Saucedo?
Aye.
Councilman Brackett?
Aye.
Councilman Fitzgerald?
Aye.
And Councilman Malcolm?
Aye.
The resolution is adopted with all ayes. Presented for City Council's consideration is a resolution approving the amended rules and regulations for Greenwood Cemetery. Is there a motion to adopt this resolution as submitted?
So moved, Your Honor.
Second.
Second, Your Honor.
We have a motion by Councilman Brackett with a second by Councilwoman Brockert. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. Councilman Malcolm, how do you vote?
Aye.
Councilman Fitzgerald?
Aye.
Councilman Brackett?
Aye.
Councilman Spread?
Aye.
Councilman Harvey?
Aye.
Councilwoman Brockert?
Aye.
And Councilman Saucedo.
Aye.
The resolution is adopted with all ayes. We're on 11E. Presented for City Council's consideration is a resolution rescinding previous resolution number 2019-0014 and resetting a public hearing for the high-strength waste receiving project for February 21st of 2019. Is there a motion to adopt this resolution as submitted?
So moved.
Second. We have a motion by Councilman Harvey with a second by Councilman Brackett. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. Councilman Malcolm, how do you vote?
Aye.
Councilman Fitzgerald?
Aye.
Councilman Brackett?
Aye.
Councilman Spread?
Aye.
Councilman Harvey?
Aye.
Councilwoman Brockert?
Aye.
And Councilman Saucedo.
Aye.
The resolution is adopted with all ayes. 11F, presented for City Council's consideration, is a resolution approving the Traffic Safety Improvement Program funding agreement called TSIP for this grant for the Hauser-Fulham intersection mini roundabout. Is there a motion to adopt this resolution as submitted?
So moved, Your Honor.
Second.
Second, Your Honor.
We have a motion by Councilman Spread with a second by Councilman Fitzgerald. Is there any discussion?
I would say on this, as I've stated in the past, I'm not particularly happy with how this particular solution was brought forward. I would have liked to have seen some additional options, and I don't really feel that roundabout is going to fix the traffic in that area. We've got two schools over there and kind of an odd configuration in a new neighborhood going in there fairly soon. That being said, at the point that we're at in it, I'm going to support it because I think that getting the grant money is important, but also we'll see what happens when the public hearing comes. So, thank you.
Your Honor.
Yes.
I have a problem with going there until we have, I'd like to revisit this specific item after I have a public hearing and input. I think that seems more balanced to me. I don't see how I can say one way or the other about something that previously everybody said no to it. Maybe they've changed their mind. I don't know, but if I accept the money, if we accept the money, are we obligated to do that? I mean, can you give the money back? And I just.
If I may, you submit invoices for reimbursement, so you're not going to get the money until after the project is complete. So, no, you're not committing to doing anything. What you're committing, in terms of construction, what you're committing to doing is fitting us on the state's calendar for grant approval in the event that we make the decision that we want to build the intersection. So you've not committed to construction in any way.
Okay. Well, that extra light helps me with this. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else?
Yes, so I guess what I'm hearing, Tom, is that we're not obligated to go forward with this even if we take the grant money or sign this
No,
agreement?
you don't take the grant money if you don't build the
Right,
intersection.
right, understood.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some grants, you get the money up front and then you do the work and you show them the money later. Councilman Spread must have some inside information on it or have read it because he says this one you bill and get the money as you present the receipts. Is that correct?
That's my understanding.
Okay.
Well, on other grants you do. All right, anyone else? Hearing nothing. Councilman Spread, how do you vote?
Aye.
Councilman Harvey?
Aye.
Councilman Saucedo?
Aye.
Councilwoman Brockert?
Aye.
Councilman Malcolm?
Aye.
Councilman Fitzgerald?
Aye.
And Councilman Brackett?
Aye.
The resolution is adopted with all ayes. We're on 11G. Presented for City Council's consideration is a request to approve the 6th agreement with Kraft Heinz for the contracted sewer pricing. This is to accommodate the latest sewer rate adjustments and the expiration of the current agreement. Is there a motion to approve this request as submitted?
So moved, Your Honor.
Second.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilman Brackett with a second by Councilman Harvey. Is there any discussion?
Yes, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
My only question is why this agreement, say, is it for 5 years or longer type of agreement? Is that due to Heinz's interest or really the city's interest, or do you?
We've done 5 previously. They wanted 3 this year. we kind of had a, we had a change in the bracket that they used. They had an extended bracket. It's a new, because of their expansion of their plant.
So it's at their request.
Yes.
That's all I had.
Thank you. Hearing nothing else, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The request is approved with all ayes. Presented for City Council's consideration is a request to approve the interagency agreement between the Iowa Department of Inspections and Appeals and the Muscatine Municipal Housing Agency. Is there a motion to approve this request as submitted?
So moved, Your Honor.
Second.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilman Fitzgerald with a second by Councilman Harvey. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The request is approved with all ayes. We're on 11I. Presented for City Council's consideration is a request to approve the issuance of a purchase order to Turf Works in the amount of $22,187.90 for the purchase of a new mower for the Muscatine Municipal Golf Course. This mower will replace a mower that has no trade-in value and has exceeded its useful operation. Is there a motion to approve the request as submitted?
So moved, Your Honor.
Second.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilman Brackett with a second by Councilwoman Brockert. Is there any discussion?
Yes, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
I was just wondering, it's kind of a general question, but I think it happened on this one, is why do we get bid responses when they don't meet the specifications? Are they just ignoring them, or what happens in that case?
No, there was, so the specification that was not met in this situation was the mower did not have anti-scalp rollers on it. And when we're mowing rough, especially at the golf course with as hilly as it is out there, the anti-scalp rollers will help the mower from scalping it all the way down to the turf. And that was a specification that was not met in this situation.
Do you know whether they just ignored it, or?
They just submitted it knowing that it did not meet specifications.
So they submitted it anyway?
Yep.
Yeah. Thank you.
While you're out there, it mentions that we have a mower that no longer, or has exceeded its useful operation. Are we going to go ahead and put that up for sale?
We are actually, this is a identical mower that as what we're purchasing. So we're actually gonna be able to use parts off that mower for the new mower as need be.
Okay, that'll work. That's good. Thank you, Nick.
Thank you, Nick. Hearing nothing else, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The request is approved with all ayes. We're on 11J. Presented for City Council's consideration is a request to approve the issuance of a purchase order to Bobcat of the Quad Cities in the amount of $21,079.50 for the purchase of a tree spade. Due to the increased need for removing and replacing trees, the use of a tree spade would make the process more efficient for the Parks and Rec Department. Is there a motion to approve this request as submitted?
So moved, Your Honor.
Councilman Harvey, would you second Councilman Brackett? We have a motion by Councilman Harvey with a second by Councilman Brackett. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The request is approved with all ayes. The last item presented for City Council's consideration is a request to approve the issuance of a purchase order to Musco Lighting in the amount of $175,000 for the Weed Park Lighting Project. This total includes installation service from Jeff Hackett Electric as well as cost of Musco material costs. Is there a motion to approve this request as submitted?
So moved, Your Honor.
Second.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilman Brackett with a second by Councilman Saucedo. Is there any discussion?
When do we think that we're going to be starting some of this work?
Right away.
Wow. Well, that'll be a good thing.
Frozen ground and all.
Okay, thank you.
Hearing no other discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The request is approved with all ayes. We are on 14. Councilman Harvey, do you have anything to share tonight?
Nothing tonight, Your Honor.
Councilman Spread?
Nothing at this time, thank you.
Councilman Malcolm?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Councilman Fitzgerald?
I would just want to say I thoroughly enjoyed our budget session review. Thank you.
You see his nose growing.
You don't say anything for 6 months, and then that's what you say.
Long time.
Councilwoman Brockert.
Nothing tonight, Your Honor.
Councilman Saucedo.
Just to echo Mr. Fitzgerald's comments, I wanted to thank staff, Nancy, all the team department heads. There was a ton of work that was put into this week-long process for budget. A lot of the council members take a lot of their time to get involved in that, and it is a huge process for us to go through and undergo. And to continue to not raise the levy is a big piece for us as council members that represent the community. So I wanted to thank them and also encourage anybody that's looking for work to get on our Muscatine OpenGov. There's our website, Muscatine Iowa Gov. I was just looking at that, and there's some positions open, so encourage individuals that are looking for work. There's some opportunities there. That's all I have, Your Honor.
Thank you. Councilman Brackett.
Well, as fun as the budget sessions were, I'm thinking ahead a little bit, and I know it's difficult with the ice on the ground, but just let people know, check out the Muscatine Soapbox Derby website and Facebook page, because I will be posting information about this year's Derby. We will be having it, and it's going to be in October this time, so we do not have to fight with all of the 4th of July activities or the heat. So we are going to be looking at the second Saturday in October for the Soapbox Derby. That's all I got.
Thank you.
Thanks.
And I know staff had a couple things to run by.
Yes, 2 questions, Your Honor. We have a July 4th council meeting, and council rules would move that to July 3rd, if that's acceptable for everybody.
Sure.
Okay, so we will go ahead and post that and change that on the schedule. And then, as Mrs. Landy noted, the Chinese orchestra is next Thursday. I believe it's at 7 o'clock. I was wondering if the council would like to move our meeting to 5 or 5:30 so that members can attend the orchestra. Right now, at this point in time, I only have setting the public hearing for the budget on the agenda at this point in time.
Okay.
I could do it after at 5:30. I have an Emergency Management Commission meeting.
Yeah, I would support moving it to an earlier time so we can attend that concert.
5:30 was okay?
5:30 I have an E911 meeting, and 6 o'clock I have an Emergency Management Commission meeting. 5 would work.
It's probably just a
Yeah.
short meeting. Right now, the budget is the only thing I have on there to set the public hearing.
I can make 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock.
So
5
we
o'clock's fine.
basically only need four council and somebody.
Yeah, I won't be able to make
mayor
5.
Or Mayor Pro
Take
Tem.
5.
Oh, Mayor Pro Tem.
Yeah.
5 o'clock.
Can you make 5? Councilman Harvey?
Yes.
Yes.
Excellent.
Sounds like we have 4 for 5.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. I just have a couple of things. I wanted to take this time certainly to thank the staff working on the roads and all of the mess we've had this winter. I know everyone appreciates all the work that they're doing and the cold and the nasty, and hopefully spring will be here soon. Our city this week is going to be a little different. We're traveling on the road on Tuesday night because the Muscatine Police Department and the Muscatine Fire Department are playing the Special Olympics in a basketball game. So we're going to go there and do our city right there live with some coaches and some athletes, and then stay and tape the game. So it should be fun. The next Coffee with the Mayor, Saturday, February 23rd at 9 a.m. at Happy Joe's. And that's all we have for this evening. So do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
We're adjourned.
We still got that meeting else.